Okay, I just got back from the Maloca after my first ayahuasca ceremony here in Costa Rica. Thought about actually not making this video till tomorrow, but I thought I would make it now. Still feeling a little tender from the ceremony itself. Yeah, it was a long time since I've seen Mother Ayahuasca, and yeah, it was great to be there again. You know, really powerful stuff. Really, just kind of next level things going on there. I didn't purge. My stomach felt okay actually, and it started off slow, but then it went really strong for me around 2 hours in, and just lots of powerful thoughts, and it's really hard to articulate this stuff in words. That's why I never want to talk afterwards, because it'll probably take me months or years to process this information. But yeah, just so many possibilities, the unlimited amount of ideas and knowledge, and just like the limitless being that we have. And it's so easy to get caught up into just a fixed way of doing things, and I'm just as guilty of that. And this really reminded me of that it's just, we're really limitless if you can just think that way. So that was really powerful. Also, I just fixated on so many different people in my life, and for me, this was a reminder of where I've come since my last ceremony. My last ceremony, first of all, like, my stomach hurt the whole time. I was resisting. It was really hard, and I think I wasn't treating my body very good at that point. And also, I had a few people in my life to focus on, and I really needed to focus on them, and I did. And tonight, I must have seen 40 or 50 faces, all these different people in my life, and the different relationships I have with them, and the way I need to listen to them more. Actually, I saw each one of the people that watches London Real, and I just thought to myself, it's important to make a connection with that one person. Sometimes we get really fixated on how many views do you have and how many subscribers do you have, but it's just a more game. And it's like you forget that there's an individual out there, and something you're doing them is making an emotional effect on their life, and that's important. And what we do is important, and it's important for me just to remember that each one of those views is a person on the other end with thoughts and feelings, and they need to be listened to and honored and respected. So that was a big lesson for me. Also, of all the different people in my life, from the team at London Real to all these different people in big ways and small ways in my life, just thought of ways I need to listen to them and to really listen to who they are and what their voice is and why. And also for me to mentor them and teach them and be a leader to them. Of course, super important people in my family were really present. Mariana, big presence. My boys, big presence. Caden, Damon, my daughter, Gabby, big presence. And just some lessons that I need to take from here to really spend more time teaching them and be with them, and spend more time actively charting out their future and being a part of it. I think it's really easy to outsource that stuff sometimes and not think about it. So that was a big lesson for me. And yeah, just a lot of things, some darkness. I saw my own funeral, saw myself dead. I felt like I was dead. I would lay down on this mattress in the Maloca, and it felt like I was my grave, and people were around me looking in my grave, and it was my funeral. And it was just curious, well, what are they going to say about you? Here lies Brian, blah, 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 blah. What is it? And the dying part didn't bother me, but just makes you think, like, what are you doing that's going to really matter? And an obituary is really interesting, because no one's going to talk about how much money you made or how big your companies were. It's always going to be about what did you do that was important to other people. So just meditating on your death is what I did tonight a bit, and that's something Ido Portal taught me, which is powerful. It's one thing to talk about it, it's another thing to actually do it. So yeah, those are some of the few things that I remember from the ceremony. Yeah, amazing place. The shamans were incredible. 2 Peruvians, a man and a woman, really impressive people. And yeah, I really enjoyed the ceremony. Dennis McKenna's to my right, so that's pretty intense. He was amazing. And Daniel to my left, who runs this place, and one of the founders of Soltara. So it was great, and a wonderful introduction for me. So there you go. First ceremony is done. I was really anxious, as you would expect, but then also okay as well, just kind of accepting the moment that it was happening. So that's what tonight was all about. My next ceremony is in 2 days. I can do that next ceremony. Tonight wasn't too brutal, but I think they're gonna concentrate the medicine a little for next time, and I'm expecting the next one to be a real bone crusher. So that's okay. And again, tonight had some real moments and some definite uncomfortableness and some darkness. You know, but that's what comes with the territory, and some emotions of incredible elation and some moments of just like awe, awe. I don't even know what was happening, just awe. And then some moments where it felt like my brain was literally being just defragged, like really just being just almost compressed. And it was just like almost, yeah, just defragging this hard drive and pushing all this stuff out. And there's no choice. I didn't try to resist it. It was just like, wow, it just felt like I was just being. So I'm sure some of this stuff is will get played out in some time, maybe months and years. So, but I'm going to try to be very active here and take a few lessons. I'm going to write them down. They have a great book here that they created here called The Hero's Journal, which is a great take on the hero's journey. And something very serious here about Soltara, about the integration, which I think is really, really important. A lot of people go to a ceremony and they go home the next day. That's what I did for my first ones, and I never really wrote down and thought about the integration. So this is a whole book, and there's all these exercises, and it's about how to take this stuff and convert it into practices when you go back into the real world. Because when you go back in the real world, as one of the hosts here said, they said you go back to the same people with the same problems, the same dialogue, the same and it's really easy to let these messages die. So that's what this week's going to be about for me. So that's it. I'm signing off. I'm going to get some sleep and then just continue this whole process this week, which is like a long, intense meditation process on me, life, dissolution, these issues we face as a whole. It's great having Dennis here to remind me that we really need to take notice and make some changes for what's going on. So there you go. We're done. 2 more of these things to go, and I'm looking forward to them. And that's it. I'm signing off. Lots of love to all of you, and thanks for joining us for this journey. To be continued. I'll be posting more what happens. All right.